The New York Knicks are still enjoying one of the most memorable moments in franchise history after capturing the 2026 NBA championship, ending a title drought that had lasted more than 5 decades. For an organization with one of the richest traditions in professional basketball, finally reaching the top of the mountain again represents a defining moment not only for the franchise, but also for an entire generation of fans who had waited their entire lives to witness another championship parade through the streets of Manhattan. The Knicks secured the NBA title with an impressive Game 5 victory over the San Antonio Spurs on June 13th, putting the finishing touches on a remarkable postseason run that will be remembered for years to come. The victory marked New York's first NBA championship since 1973, ending one of the longest title droughts among the league's historic franchises. The significance of the accomplishment cannot be overstated. Every player on the current roster was born decades after the Knicks last celebrated an NBA championship, illustrating just how much time had passed since the franchise last stood atop the basketball world. Generations of fans experienced years of disappointment, rebuilding projects, coaching changes, and missed opportunities before finally witnessing their beloved team reclaim the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Naturally, the celebration throughout New York has continued long after the final buzzer sounded. Championship parades, fan celebrations, media appearances, and organizational events have allowed players, coaches, executives, and supporters to fully appreciate what they accomplished. Winning an NBA championship is one of the most difficult achievements in professional sports, and no one inside the organization has been in a hurry to move past the celebration. However, the NBA calendar never stops. Even while celebrating a championship, front offices across the league must immediately begin preparing for the next season. The NBA draft, free agency, salary cap decisions, contract negotiations, and roster construction all arrive quickly after the finals conclude. Championship teams often face even greater challenges because success naturally increases the market value of their players. The Knicks now find themselves facing exactly that reality. Several members of New York's championship roster are entering free agency, creating difficult financial decisions for the front office. Maintaining a championship core is rarely simple in today's NBA, especially under the league's increasingly restrictive salary cap system. Every dollar committed to one player potentially limits the organization's flexibility elsewhere on the roster. One of the biggest names attracting attention is veteran center Mitchell Robinson. Robinson has officially become an unrestricted free agent, allowing him to negotiate with any team in the NBA. Given his defensive reputation, rebounding ability, and proven playoff experience, it comes as little surprise that multiple organizations are expected to pursue his services aggressively. Among those teams, however, one franchise appears particularly determined. According to a report from Colin Loring of Knicks X Factor, the Los Angeles Lakers have emerged as one of the strongest contenders to sign Robinson this offseason. Sources cited by the report indicate that the Lakers are expected to make Robinson one of their highest priorities as they continue reshaping their roster around Luka Doncic and positioning themselves for another championship run. Sources tell Knicks X Factor that the Los Angeles Lakers loom large in Robinson's fast-approaching free agency, Loring reported. Even more revealing was a quote provided by one source familiar with the situation. "It's the Lakers," the source said. "They're going to offer more than James Dolan is willing to pay, and the starting job." That statement immediately generated significant discussion around the league because it highlights two major advantages the Lakers may possess. First is financial flexibility. Reports suggest Los Angeles is prepared to offer Robinson the full non-taxpayer mid-level exception, a contract that could be worth approximately $15 million annually. For many players entering free agency, contract value remains one of the most important considerations, particularly when the difference between competing offers reaches several million dollars per season. If the Knicks are unwilling or unable to match that financial commitment due to luxury tax concerns or broader roster planning, Robinson could face an extremely difficult decision. The second advantage may be equally important: opportunity. According to the report, the Lakers are prepared to offer Robinson the starting center position immediately. That role carries significant appeal for any player, particularly one eager to maximize both his playing time and long-term earning potential. Starting for one of the NBA's most recognizable franchises also brings increased national exposure, endorsement opportunities, and the chance to compete on basketball's biggest stage. From the Lakers' perspective, Robinson checks nearly every box the organization has been searching for this offseason. For months, league insiders have consistently linked Los Angeles to nearly every available center on the market. Since acquiring Luka Doncic as the new face of the franchise, management has prioritized finding an athletic rim-protecting center capable of complementing the superstar guard's offensive brilliance. Doncic has historically thrived alongside big men who excel in pick-and-roll situations. Throughout his NBA career, he has consistently elevated athletic centers by creating high-percentage scoring opportunities around the basket. Robinson's skill set appears almost tailor-made for that style of basketball. Standing among the league's elite defensive centers, Robinson has built his reputation through exceptional rim protection, shot-blocking instincts, offensive rebounding, and efficient finishing near the basket. While he has never been known as a high-volume scorer, his impact often extends far beyond traditional statistics. His ability to alter shots without fouling, secure extra possessions through offensive rebounds, and anchor a defense has made him one of the NBA's most respected interior defenders whenever healthy. Health, of course, remains one of the primary concerns surrounding Robinson. Throughout his career, injuries have occasionally limited both his availability and consistency. Various foot, ankle, and lower body issues have caused him to miss significant stretches of multiple seasons. Any team considering a substantial financial commitment must carefully evaluate whether Robinson can remain healthy enough to justify the investment. The Lakers undoubtedly recognize that risk. At the same time, they also understand the enormous upside. A healthy Robinson could dramatically improve several weaknesses that have plagued Los Angeles in recent seasons. Interior defense, defensive rebounding, and rim protection have frequently emerged as problem areas, particularly during playoff competition against larger frontcourts. Adding Robinson would immediately strengthen those areas while allowing Luka Doncic to operate alongside an elite vertical threat in the pick-and-roll game. For the Knicks, losing Robinson would create a difficult challenge despite their recent championship success. Although New York possesses a deep roster filled with talented contributors, replacing an experienced defensive anchor is never easy. Robinson's chemistry with teammates, familiarity with the coaching staff, and understanding of the team's defensive schemes have all played meaningful roles in the franchise's recent success. Championship teams often discover that maintaining continuity can be just as important as acquiring new talent. The Knicks front office must therefore balance emotional loyalty with financial responsibility. Owner James Dolan and the basketball operations department will need to determine exactly how much Robinson is worth within the context of the organization's long-term salary structure. Committing significant money to one player may require difficult sacrifices elsewhere on the roster. Meanwhile, several other NBA teams are also expected to express interest in Robinson. Quality defensive centers remain among the league's most valuable role players, especially for teams with championship aspirations. Even organizations that fail to secure Robinson may pursue similar players capable of providing rebounding, shot blocking, and defensive stability. Nevertheless, the Lakers appear particularly motivated. Following another disappointing postseason exit, Los Angeles has entered the offseason determined to maximize Luka Doncic's championship window. The front office has already made several moves aimed at improving both short-term competitiveness and long-term roster flexibility, but adding a legitimate starting center remains perhaps the organization's biggest objective. Robinson is far from the only name linked to Los Angeles. The Lakers have also reportedly explored possibilities involving Walker Kessler, Jalen Duren, Jarrett Allen, Robert Williams III, and several other frontcourt options. However, many of those players would require complicated trades or significant assets, making Robinson one of the more realistic free agent solutions. His combination of defensive excellence, playoff experience, athleticism, and unrestricted free agent status makes him an attractive target without requiring Los Angeles to surrender valuable draft picks or young players. Still, free agency rarely unfolds exactly as expected. Negotiations can change quickly. Market values fluctuate. Competing offers emerge unexpectedly. Teams that initially appear unwilling to spend sometimes increase their offers after losing alternative targets. That uncertainty means Robinson's future remains impossible to predict with confidence. What seems increasingly clear, however, is that the Lakers intend to be aggressive. Whether Robinson ultimately chooses Los Angeles, remains with the defending champion Knicks, or signs elsewhere, his decision could become one of the most influential moves of the offseason. For New York, retaining him would preserve an important piece of a championship roster and reinforce the organization's commitment to defending its title. For Los Angeles, signing him could represent the final major piece needed to transform an already talented roster into one capable of competing for another NBA championship alongside Luka Doncic. As free agency officially accelerates, all eyes will remain on Robinson and the negotiations surrounding one of the offseason's most intriguing storylines. The Knicks may still be celebrating their historic championship, but difficult business decisions are rapidly approaching. At the same time, the Lakers continue searching for the frontcourt upgrade they believe can elevate them back into serious championship contention. Only the coming days will determine whether Mitchell Robinson's next chapter will be written in New York, Los Angeles, or somewhere entirely unexpected, but one thing has become increasingly evident. His free agency has evolved into one of the NBA's most closely watched situations, and the outcome could have a significant impact on the balance of power entering the 2026-27 season. Comment below if you think the Lakers should invest in Mitchell Robinson. Thank you for watching. Subscribe so you don't miss any updates, and see you next time.